Honorable Deputy Minister for Development, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor for me to be present here on today's seminar organized by the civil society organizations. I would like to give you a brief overview of the developments which have taken place within our region in the last month or so. So over the past few weeks, South Asia had witnessed a marked escalation in tensions following the attack in Pahalgam on 22nd of April 2025. Without recourse to credible evidence or a transparent investigation, India blamed Pakistan for the attack. Among other actions, and against all legal norms, it decided to illegally hold the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance. This treaty, brokered with the painstaking diplomacy in 1960 under the auspices of the World Bank, has endured even during the times of conflict. It's not merely a technical instrument, but a cornerstone of regional peace architecture. Pakistan conveyed its condolences following the Pahalgam attack and proposed an impartial and neutral investigation into the incident. This offer was regrettably disregarded by India. In choosing presumption over prudence, India precipitated a trajectory that culminated in its unprovoked attacks against Pakistan on 7th of May 2025. These acts of aggression, which included strikes on civilian targets, brought the region dangerously close to an open conflict. Confronted with the imperative to safeguard our sovereignty, Pakistan acted under Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. Our response on 10th of May 2025 was precise, proportionate, and strictly confined to military targets. It was not an act of escalation, but a calibrated demonstration of resolve. However, in the interest of regional peace, the government of Pakistan responded positively to the constructive engagements of our international partners and agreed to a ceasefire. We deeply value their role in this regard. At present, Pakistan is fully adhering to the ceasefire and also expects the government of India to do likewise. Ladies and gentlemen, the root cause of instability in the South Asia remains India's illegal occupation of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan's position on Jammu and Kashmir has been consistent and national law seek a peaceful, just resolution of this dispute in accordance with the UNSC resolutions and the aspirations. In this regard, recognize and appreciate the support extended by our international partners. India's unilateral move to hold the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance has weaponized water resources for political leverage and is a flagrant contravention of international law. The treaty contains no provision permitting unilateral action of this nature. The disruption of water flow not only endangers livelihoods but also heightens the risk of a prolonged asymmetric conflict over basic necessity. Even against the backdrop of a ceasefire, India's messaging continues to reflect a posture of rigidity and confrontation. Pakistan, in contrast, has exercised restraint and responsibility. However, continued provocation may compel Pakistan to revisit its strategic calculus. For years, India has been maligning and targeting Pakistan in the context of terrorism. In that backdrop, I take this opportunity to reaffirm Pakistan's resolute commitment to fight against terrorism. Pakistan has played a key role in the global fight against terrorism and rendered unprecedented sacrifices in this endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan itself has been a victim of terrorism, including state-sponsored terrorism carried out by India through different militant organizations in Balochistan. Our law enforcement agencies' detailed investigations have found that several targeted assassinations on our soil follow a pattern of broader assassination campaign orchestrated by the Indian intelligence agencies in other countries, including United States and Canada. In addition, Pakistan is confronted with the serious threat of terrorism posed by the Al-Qaeda and TTP. We are part of the international efforts to thwart the activities of these organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan remains committed to peaceful coexistence and continues to advocate dialogue over discord. Our enduring hope is for a comprehensive, sustained engagement with India to resolve all outstanding issues, most critically the dispute over Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Before I finish, I just want to leave 2-3 questions for you. As you might be aware that India portrays itself as the biggest democracy in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, is there any other example where a democracy has attacked another democracy? Where any other example where a democracy has oppressed its own minorities? And does any other democracy violates bilateral and international agreements without following the procedures and sovereignty? And is there any other democracy which has violated sovereignty of its neighbors? So these are the questions which I leave for you to ponder. I thank you all for coming today and attending this seminar, especially the Honorable Deputy Minister for Social Development. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fahad Jassan. Beautiful, eloquently, you put your case, and I'm sure you leave a lot of questions to be answered by many people sitting in this room. I'd like to invite my sister for a brief comment as a solidarity between, from South Africa to the people of our region. Fatma.
Jazakallah khairan. I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. So I don't want to go too much into detail, but as we know, Kashmir was sold to the British in the 1800s. In this way, India had to affirm to the British supremacy long before the partition and creation of Pakistan and India. But now I want to go to current Kashmir. Kashmir is still the playground of the military industrial complex, the super rich, the deceptive narrative of history, which the military industrial complex tells the same lies over and over again. And I just want to reaffirm what our previous speaker said about the lie that's told about India being the largest democracy in the world. The other lie is that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. So these are the twin occupations. And what we do know is that India is Kashmir, is the most militarized zone in the world with 1 million troops. So I also want to speak about regarding my representation on behalf of the South African Kashmir Action Group Women's Forum. I am pleased and honored to be an ambassador and to speak on behalf of the voiceless women and children in Kashmir. As we know, it is a strong sunnah to defend the honor and dignity of women. Evidence thereof is when the Creator says that on the day of judgment, the girl child will be called and asked for which crime she was killed. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen the wombs of women to carry his creation. In fact, he's named the womb after his attribute of mercy, Raham, which and we see how the wombs of the women are being violated in the Muslim Ummah. We can talk about Bosnia, Herzegovina, Kuna and Poshpura in 1991, the incident of mass rape on the 23rd of February 1991, when a unit of forces raped 23 to 100 women. And then we look at international law. The United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 on Women, Peace and Security adopted unanimously by the United Nations as protection by all parties in conflict areas to fully respect the international law applicable to the rights and protection of women and girls. This has not been implemented. We can see it in Palestine, we see it in Kashmir. And this is just an ongoing, um, massacres of the women in Kashmir, in Palestine, all over the world. And I stand in solidarity, and I ask everybody to please stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Kashmir. And once again, I want to thank Brother Salman for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the South African Kashmir Action Group Women's Forum. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.